Good evening and welcome to PlayOnSports.com. We're here in El Cajon, California, as the host El Cajon Valley Braves are getting set to take on their neighborhood rival, the Christian Patriots. Good evening, everybody. I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy in a very hot Southern California day, and I think I said that too subtly. Very hot. 108, I think it was, here in El Cajon today. So should be a fun game, and we'll see if the hot temperature turns into hot play on the field.
Well, this is being billed as the Battle of Madison Avenue, and you can kind of sense it that with the hot weather, coincidence, both offenses are very hot as they put up over 40 points in the first two contests. So I'm expecting a high-flying football game. A lot of athletes on the field, and it's really going to be, to me, the key, Andrew, is which defense could kind of slow the other one down, because I think that's the one who's going to win the game ultimately.
El Cajon Valley has a little bit of a revenge on their minds as they're playing the Christian team that beat them pretty handily last year, 49-0. Obviously, that team had a couple D1 players. But this is a different Christian team, and we'll see if El Cajon Valley can get some sort of revenge after that kind of embarrassing beating last year.
Yeah, both coaches kind of downplayed it, but I got to feel when you get handled like that, Andrew, I totally agree. You do remember that, and you want to, especially on your home field, you want to take it to this team. And really, the coaching staff of El Cajon Valley stressed that they really want to out physical Christian tonight because they feel that's going to be a key. They got to win the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively.
These two teams only separated by a few miles out here in El Cajon, just east of it's in San Diego County, but just east of the city of San Diego for those of you listening from out of the area. And again, we want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight wherever you may be across the globe, and want to say thank you to our military personnel out there listening as well. We appreciate all you guys do for us, and I hope you guys stay safe wherever you may be. And just a few minutes away here from kickoff as they're announcing the El Cajon Valley team. They're going to be in their baby blue uniforms with the red and white trim, kind of like the old school, like you said, Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
They kind of look exactly like the Houston Oilers did back in their day, along with Christian, who will be in their white uniforms with the white helmets. We're going to take a quick break here for the national anthem. We'll come back with kickoff here on PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com as we are just moments away from the start of this third week of the San Diego High School football season with the Christian Patriots heading down the road just a few miles to take on their rivals from El Cajon Valley. I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy in a hot and steamy El Cajon in California where it reached, I believe, 108 today, which is pretty outrageous if you're from Southern California. I know those of you listening from other hot parts of the world are saying stop whining, but that's definitely not what we're used to out here in Southern California. But it should be a hot game on the field here as Christian and El Cajon Valley both come in 2-0. Both teams winning both their games pretty impressively. And now, obviously someone has to go down tonight, and it's going to be an interesting one because El Cajon Valley took a beating from the same Christian team last year, and so looking for a little bit of revenge tonight. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I can't stress it anymore. When you get drubbed like that, it will stick with you. And they watched the film. The entire coaching staff made us know that they did watch that film again. Sometimes coaches, it's kind of an iffy situation. Some coaches refuse to watch a drubbing like that and have to bring negative thoughts into your team's mind. But this coaching staff felt that they needed to watch that film and to get prepared for this game. So I think it's really clearly on their mind, and they're kicking off. And I think it's going to be key for their offense to kind of set the tone and win the line of scrimmage here on Christian's opening drive.
Irving Varbone ready to kick this one off for the Braves, and Christian will start the first half with the football. The kick is in the air, takes a bounce, and it is fielded by Christian out to the 15 and brought down, the 25 and brought down at about the 26. And that is where Christian will start this ball game from their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, talented senior Rayvon Owens picked the ball up for Christian. Andrew kind of was bouncing around the 20, and he picked it up and moved it up to about the 27-yard line, and that's where they'll start offensively.
So they're going to officially mark it at the 28, say his momentum took him there. So 1st and 10. And flags fly before the snap, and it's going to go against the Patriots, going against El Cajon Valley and offsides penalties, so not the starts El Cajon Valley was looking for, as gives the Patriots a free 5 yards.
Yeah, a little anxious here. False start, one of the interior linemen on the defensive line, so again, they're trying to kind of guess the snap count, and you got it a little amped up. They got to settle down here.
So the first play, handoff, and nowhere to go is Rayvon Owens, who is hit immediately. In fact, may have lost a yard, brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, tremendous play there by number 27 for El Cajon Valley. He came up, Rodney Pete. He's a big-time college recruit, plays the outside linebacker position, and right there he just swiveled straight down the line of scrimmage and made a nice play.
Yeah, you'll be hearing that name a lot tonight. Ryan Pete is their everything here for El Cajon Valley and plays only on one speed, so he will be heard from tonight. Handoff up the middle, and breaking through tackles is Rayvon Owens, and he gets past the first down marker, and is brought down at the 43. And Christian will move the chains, 1st and 10 from their own 43.
Yeah, great call there on the outside tackle there. Did Owens cut it inside, came right off the right tackle's hip there to cut inside to gain that 1st down. So a little ball control here by Christian, normally a big play offense, but they're running the ball here in their first series.
Carrillo hands the ball off again, going over to Owens, and Owens has a lot of room to work before he is finally brought down after he picks up about 9 on the play. So Christian right now really controlling the line of scrimmage, and Owens having a lot of room to work.
Yeah, great tackle on the outside on the left side. Took down the defender towards the inside on the play to allow Owens to go to the outside, cut outside, and then he lowered his shoulder and took on the cornerback to gain about 9 yards on that 1st down.
2nd down and a yard. I have a feeling we're in for a big play here shortly, as Coach Oliver was saying that he wants to kind of throw a couple big plays in there, but it's not coming now as the ball is handed off, and Owens is hit maybe about a half a yard shy of the 1st down marker, so he picks up maybe a half a yard. And it's going to depend on the mark, but from up here, looks like he is going to be just short.
Yeah, Qatar Adenium shedded his interior block there on the defensive line and met Owens right at the line of scrimmage. So great play by that ball player for El Cajon Valley to stuff him. And the first time they really stopped him in their tracks and for no gain. So nicely done.
They may have to come out here and measure. The referees are still trying to determine where they want to mark this football. And here come the chains. From up here, it looks like he's just shy, but we'll see officially here as the chains are out and extended, and we'll see, did he pick it up? He is going to be, I believe he got it by the nose of the football, and that is correct. Barely got it, but that doesn't matter. He has it. First down and 10 for Christian inside El Cajon Valley territory at the Brave 46.
Yeah, I want to tell our fans that might have checked the rosters out on Max Preps that Dylan Aguayo is listed as 56, but tonight he'll be wearing number 64, the middle linebacker for El Cajon Valley. So there's a number change that, well, we want to let everybody know why we had a break in the action.
So first and 10 for Christian. Opening possession of the ball game just underway. 10:07 left in the first quarter. And again, thank you for tuning in wherever you may be listening from this evening. Carrillo hands the ball off again. So
loose ball.
The ball comes out, and it looks like El Cajon Valley recovered it. And that is the case. El Cajon Valley picks it up for the first down. So Christian moving the ball down the field, turns it over, and it will be Brave football.
Yeah, the guy we just talked about, Aguayo, saw the loose ball. I think he made the initial hit, Andrew, and then realized that the carrier did not have the football, Owens, and looked behind him, and there was a loose ball, and he pounced on it immediately. Big break for the Braves because the Patriots were moving downfield and really using the ball control to kind of keep this athletic offense on the sidelines. So big turnaround here for El Cajon Valley.
Hakeem Harris, the quarterback for El Cajon Valley, takes his team out to the line and hands it off to Antoine White. And Antoine White picks up about a yard and brings up second down and 9. A lot of speed on this El Cajon Valley team. In fact, they have one of the fastest guys in the entire San Diego section in Vernell Moon.
Yeah, and number 10 right there, White, showed the outside, kicked it outside. He leads the team in rushing this season. Only 2 weeks, but has done a nice job. 208 yards picked up. More importantly, 3 touchdowns on the season.
Second and 9 after the 1-yard carry there from Antoine White, as Hakeem Harris has a man in motion on second and 9, and he will hand it off again. And not a lot of room there. I believe that was White again, and White maybe got another yard, and it brings up third down and 8. So back-to-back 1-yard runs from White. And a third and long here for the Braves.
Yeah, Zach Welch came in for Christian, met the block from the guard, shredded him, and then hit the running back straight up as he was trying to cross the line of scrimmage. Great play by the senior linebacker for the Patriots.
Both teams, again, as we mentioned, 2-0 heading into tonight.
Excuse me, Zach is a junior. Don't want to lose a year eligibility.
Third and 8. Harris will look to throw. He's under pressure, and he is brought down. It's going to be a big loss as he is sacked. And it looks like
number 6.
That's Zane Kaufman, who big play threat on the Christian side. Comes out with a big sack there, a loss of almost 10, and that's going to bring up punting situation, or not a loss of 10, a loss of 5, I should say. And it's going to bring up punting situation for the Braves.
Yeah, covered sack there for the Patriots as the Braves looked downfield, didn't see anybody open, and then Kaufman came from the outside, from his outside linebacker position, and hit the quarterback for the sack.
Low snap, kick is up. Spiral quick kick, and a fair catch is called at about the 29-yard line, and that was Trevor Howell who was back there returning it. And that is where the Patriots will get their second possession of the game. It'll be marked at the 28 with 7:45 left here in the first quarter. We're scoreless on PlayOnSports.com.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit them at their website at tpcfirst.net for your next printing project.
So Carrillo and the Patriots coming out for their second series, and a whistle will stop this play in its tracks, and we'll see what the call is.
Has to be a false start on Christian. They blew it immediately before even the play got snapped, so somebody must have moved on that interior line.
It's going to be a false start penalty going against the Patriots. So first and 15.
Yeah, very interesting here in the early going. Both teams kind of not executing properly. Another loose ball.
Another loose ball, and who I believe Christian is able to fall back on it. And I tell you, right now, Coach Oliver can't be happy. with the ball security in the early going on this one because they avoid disaster there.
Yeah, quarterback right there, Carrillo, was handing the ball off with no running back inside, and he's very fortunate. I think he realized it immediately that he didn't have Owens right there to hand the ball off to, and he pounced on that ball immediately. That was a ball that was on the ground way too long if you're a Patriots coach.
But they do pick up positive yards out of it as the ball popped out and they recovered it 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Carrillo looking to throw. He is under pressure, and he is going to get brought down. So El Cajon Valley with the sack of their own. And that will bring them back to where they started before that short gain.
Out of Herder once again made a nice stop, came from the inside, and really had Carrillo by the ankles. I thought the back judge was going to throw and that he was in the grass, but he waited to me a little bit too long as Carrillo was trying to look downfield, and then finally just got taken to the ground.
And Christian calls a timeout as this is not a possession that they are liking here. The first play, before it even happened, they get called for a false start. Then a loose ball that they're fortunate to recover. And then a sack. And now here we are at the timeout.
Yeah, they look uncharacteristically just a little shaky here in the early going. This is usually a very, they know exactly what they want to do offensively. As you mentioned in the pregame, they're a big play offense that likes to kind of stretch the defense a little bit using screens and on occasion going a little bit deep to kind of stretch that defense out. But they've run it exclusively here in the early going, and they just don't look very comfortable offensively.
6:53 here in the first quarter, scoreless. This is the second possession of the game for Christian. It's 3rd and long. Carrillo under center. Long count here. Now looks like he's changing things up, and now we have another whistle. And they may have taken too long.
I think he got a timeout.
Timeout again. Yeah, back-to-back timeout. So Christian burns yet another timeout before they even get the playoff after their last timeout. So this possession is continually getting worse for the Patriots.
That tells me with the original play that they called, Andrew, he looked over the coverage and tried to audibilize and didn't feel comfortable with any of the audibles off of that play with the defenses that the Braves had the defense that the Braves were in. So he would rather just call another timeout, blow another timeout. So now that means they only have one timeout for the remainder of the first half.
So Carrillo will line up with two receivers here on the near side, one on the far. And he will roll out and look to throw. Carrillo rolling, fires, and it is picked off. Intercepted by El Cajon Valley, taking it the distance. The other way, it's going to be a touchdown for the Braves, and I believe that was Anthony Ty. And Anthony Ty takes a flag comes flying out late, and here we have a scrum on the field. We two players, and Ty's touchdown looks like it's going to stand, but the referees right now are trying to separate the two teams as there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on from these heated rivals that aren't very far from each other.
Yeah, and he's really getting an earful from the coaching staff, as you don't want to take any points off the board right there. You gotta think. You gotta be smart. There's a flag right at the 30-yard line. Excuse me. But again, Carrillo rolling out to his right, coming towards the near sidelines, try to sort of target downfield through it. Was way overthrown, and it was just an easy pick for Ty as he ran it straight down the sideline.
But they're going to say he stepped out of bounds, and there was a flag on the play, so it won't be a touchdown. He took it to the house, but he looks like he may have stepped out, which the official is saying. But now we're waiting on the penalty call. It's going to be a personal foul going against Christian, and so it's going to be first down, and it will be 1st and 10 for El Cajon. They're going to enforce the penalty yardage, I believe, from where he stepped out. We're still waiting on word on where they're going to officially mark him.
It looks like they're going to walk it off from the 29, Andrew.
Ty stepped out apparently at the 29, and so they'll get their 15 yards from there.
Boy, and Coach Oliver is giving it to the referees on the far side of the field. He feels that maybe it was a retaliation, and they only saw that.
And we all know how that works.
Yeah.
The retaliation guy is the guy who gets caught. That seems like 99% of the time.
And I really didn't see it because I was watching the play going into the end zone, and when we turned, when you mentioned it, I just saw two players. I didn't even catch the Patriot player that was involved with the El Cajon Valley player at about the 35-yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves at the Patriot 14-yard line. So a big play by Ty with the interception return. Took it to the house, but stepped out just barely. But the penalty will take it to the 14-yard line, and the Braves will look to get back into the end zone here. And
I feel they got to score here now. They've gotten 2 turnovers here with 6:40 to go in the first quarter, and if you don't get any points here, then momentum slowly going back to Christian.
And we have whistles blowing this play dead before it happens. We'll have to settle this one out. So it's been a very shaky first start for both sides because I believe that one's going against Christian. It's going to be an offsides penalty. So give El Cajon 5 more yards.
Yeah, the interior, I want to say one of the defensive tackles clearly came over the line of scrimmage and could not get back. He was past the neutral zone when the ball was snapped.
So brings it down to about the 9. So El Cajon Valley will have it first down and 5 from the 9. And we have whistles and a timeout called now by El Cajon Valley. So timeout on the field with 6:38 left in the first quarter. We're scoreless, but the Braves are threatening here on PlayOnSports.com.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit their website at cpcfirst.net for your next printing project. Also see CPC on the PlayOnSports.com webpage, and then click on simply the CPC icon for online printing buying that's never been this easy before.
I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy, live from El Cajon, California at El Cajon Valley High School, where it is still a blistering, has to be close to the mid-low 90s right now, you think?
Well, I'm feeling a breeze. It's not that
there's
bad.
A breeze, but it's a hot breeze. As we are set up outside.
Third straight week. I love it.
I don't think they like you, Thomas.
Getting us ready for golf coverage later this year
Alpine
on
skiing.
Play On Sports.
First and 5 from the 9. Handoff. Fighting inside to close to the 5-yard line. And that was handed off into, looks like Matthew Sheeran. And Sheeran will bring it down to about the 5.
Yeah, inside draw to Sheeran, and the Patriots played it nicely, but good second effort by Sheeran, getting close to that first down marker. It's second and about inches here, and then that will give him a first and goal.
Yes, so second and about an inch, handoff. And heading towards the end zone is Antoine White. Is he in? No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown, El Cajon Valley. Antoine White from 5 yards out gets the Braves on the board first, and El Cajon Valley jumps out to the 6-0 lead.
Yeah, I formation with a really the eye back way far back, about 8-9 yards. You see that a lot with SC. And that allowed him to read where the blocking was going. It looked like they wanted initially to go to the outside, maybe off the tackle, but he saw the opening was right over the guard and center. He followed them and got untouched as he walked into the end zone.
The extra point is up, and the extra point is good. 7-0. El Cajon Valley strikes first as they have a 7-0 lead on PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school about signing up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. This program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com SBP.
So Christian will get their third possession here and trying to right the ship as they had a turnover on their first possession and then an interception there on their second possession. And so they'll try to get on the right track here. Coach Matt Oliver looking for his 100th career win tonight, and he can't be pleased with the first 6 minutes of this game.
Well, they look disorganized offensively, and they're putting the ball either on the ground fumbling or in the air with an interception. 2 turnovers. You're not going to win a lot of games when you already have 2 turnovers and we're not even halfway through the first quarter.
The Braves set the kickoff. Ball is in the air, and it's going to sail. No, they're going to be able to return it. It's brought out by, it looks like, Philip George. Flag comes flying out.
Two of them.
As George is brought out to about the 33-yard line. And we'll wait to see what the flag's all about.
George faked an end around to Owens, who's coming out on the far side about the 10-yard line, Andrew. He kept the ball, went straight ahead, and got good return coverage right there, or good return yardage all the way out near the 35-yard line. But as Andrew said, there are two flags on the field.
Referees are discussing it now, waiting for the call here from the official. Still trying to figure it out here. The four officials that on site tonight. And there it goes, and it's going against El Cajon Valley. Not very often you see a penalty on the kicking team.
Yeah, I think everybody's a little shocked by it. Coach Whitehead is asking who's it on.
Yeah, you can see his hands in the air saying, what? How did that happen? But the referees made the call, and it will push the Patriots up 10 more yards. So instead of starting at their own 33, they'll be at their 43.
And it looks like just watching the head judge giving his interpretation of the penalty to the coaching staff of the Braves, looked like maybe one of the defenders kind of got his hand up into the face mask.
Yeah, kind of illegal hands to the face there.
Yeah, and they're trying to get away from that, and they'll call that every time.
So Carrillo looking to get things going here. A little screen pass is dropped to Rayvon Owens. Owens has had room to work if he could hold on to that, but looked to run before he corralled it, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
I couldn't say it perfectly than that. He just did not look the ball into his hands, went and started running upfield because he had a lot of room, and just has to make sure he has that ball in his grasp before he makes that turn.
Rayvon Owens, one of the better running backs in the state for small schools, as Christian plays obviously in a smaller division, and one of the better running backs in the state for small schools, but wishes he could have that one back.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes here early on for the Patriots. They got to turn it around here.
2nd and 10. Carrillo will throw. He is under pressure, gets rid of it, and a little screen pass has some room. Run out of bounds near the first down marker. And that looks like that's to Steven Johnston. And it's a gain of about 11, and that's going to be a first down for Christian, but I think Johnson lined up there as a...
Maybe as a tackle eligible because he's listed as an offensive lineman. So that caught definitely the Braves off.
Caught me off.
It caught everybody. But, those are the type of plays that can kind of get your offense going in the right direction. So give all the credit in the world to Coach Oliver and his offensive staff kind of thinking outside the box here. And nice gain right there by Johnson.
1st and 10, but the chains haven't caught on yet. So their game is held up for the chains to get in place.
Thoroughly yet.
And there they go. Coach Oliver has to be happy with the outcome of that last play. 1st and 10. And end around here is handed off to Paris Miller, and Miller is tripped up, kept his balance enough to get just shy of the first down marker. It'll be about a yard short, 2nd down and 1 on the end around there to Miller.
Yeah, always the key on an end around is sometimes the person that gets that ball doesn't have enough patience to allow the blocking scheme to kind of work to his advantage. That time he waited perfectly, and it was just a great tackle by one of the cornerbacks coming up by the Braves to kind of stop him in his tracks because he had clear sailing if he followed his blockers.
4:55 left here in the first quarter. 7-0 Braves, but Christian is moving the football here. They have it 1st and 10 from the El Cajon Valley 37. Handoff up the middle, huge hole for Rayvon Owens, and he is tripped up after he picks up the first down, and he is tripped up at the 22.
Yeah, that Patriots offensive line really opened up a hole for him. And if he gets into the linebackers in the secondary, he's going to win that battle every time because Owens has a lot of moves for a talented running back. And that time he went straight on and challenged that defense to take him down.
1st and 10 from the 23 is where it's marked. Another handoff up the middle, but not a lot of room. Pickup of maybe 2. I believe that was Owens again.
Yeah, number 52 there coming in for El Cajon Valley to make the stop.
So second down and about 8 for the Patriots. Carrillo under center. Hands it off again to Owens. And Owens on the off-tackle play picks up nice solid yardage on second and about 8. Picks up about 4. And is going to bring up third down.
Yeah, right now, it looks like it's going to be really hard to run off the right tackle because Ryan Pete's there. And that time he just slides straight down the line of scrimmage to stop Owens in his track. It's going to be hard. They may have to double team him. He's a talented outside linebacker, and he flips to the strong side of the field. So he's not always on the right, or sometimes he also lines up on the left. But that's where the strong side on the offensive formation.
Owens on the handoff to the left side and picks up about 6 for a first down. So Owens has been a machine here on this drive.
Pete once again with the pickup. He lined up a little bit outside, a little far outside on the left, but recognized it immediately, slid down, and closed that hole before Owens got through for a short gain.
3:06 left here in the first quarter, 7-0 El Cajon Valley, but Christian is threatening now as they have it 1st and 10 from about the 11. Handoff on a trap play. And a pickup of close to 4 yards. And I believe
number 20.
That's Trenton Sauls.
Yeah, he looks like the big back there. Sauls coming in at 6'1", 220, so he kind of grinds it between the guards there and the guard in the center, and right there kept his legs moving and got right near close to the 5-yard line.
Second down and 6 after the handoff to Sauls, and Owens now the carry, and he's near the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Christian.
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute. They're going to say his knee was down before he crossed.
Ooh.
That looked like he was in, but the referee saw his knee down. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-inch line.
Yeah, excuse me, but it was a great misdirection there by Christian as it looked like Owens got in. As it really kind of those interior linebackers.
And Carrillo will just take it himself and dives into the end zone, touchdown. It doesn't look like El Cajon Valley was ready for that.
I don't think anybody lined up.
Carrillo just took the snap and said, okay,
wow,
and went forward and scored it. So the Patriots are an extra point away from tying this one up. An impressive drive there for Christian.
That's a great definition for a quick snap.
I don't think anybody was ready for that snap. But a good part by Carrillo recognizing that and just hurrying up with the snap and taking it himself.
Yeah, that was Dan Marino-esque, faking the timeout and then throwing a touchdown against the New York Jets a few years back. Well, way back.
Low snap, extra point is up, and the extra point is no good. So El Cajon Valley will retain their lead as they are on top 7-6 after the extra point is missed there by Mason Powell.
A tough break there
with a low snap, and so Powell had to wait a little bit extra to get that up.
Yeah, it throws off your timing. I'll give you that, but man, they practice that all week, kickers, and you got to make those.
So entertaining first quarter thus far with 2:18 remaining. 7-6, El Cajon Valley has the lead. The Braves struck first. The Patriots have just answered, but missing the extra point. So they still trail by a point here, 7-6.
Yeah, nothing really out of the ordinary. The one thing that kind of surprises me is the running by Christian, but other than that, on that last drive, it was key to a tackle-eligible pass play that kind of got him going offensively. So I give credit to the Patriots coaching staff for thinking outside the box there to trying to get the kickstart this offense.
The Patriots set the kickoff. A little short kick.
Ooh,
and it's bobble. And El Cajon Valley very fortunate to recover that one. It was kind of a high pooch kick there. Bobbled by the upman.
Yeah, Anthony Ty was the upman, and he just seemed like he was a little bit shy. Didn't know if a guy was coming in from behind him to kind of come up and catch that ball. And you realize he was in no man's land all by himself. He came right off his hands, and luckily for him, number 23, DeAndre Reed made the recovery.
There was a group of Patriots hustling down that were close to jumping on that as well. So the Braves very fortunate to retain possession here as they have it first down and 10 from their 24. Pitch out here towards near side is Vernell Moon, and Moon splits a couple of tacklers and is finally tripped up near the 31-yard line. So a nice pickup of about 7 for the Braves, brings up 2nd and 3.
Well, first time he's touched the ball here in this quarter and in the game, and Moon showed you what Andrew was talking about. Very exciting. Got outside, the trailing defender had to come from behind to take him down, but he did his job. Got 8 yards on that first down play.
As mentioned earlier, Vernell Moon, one of the faster guys in the county here for El Cajon Valley on the track team, and it's accomplished a lot in his time here for the Braves. 2nd and 3. Handoff on the trap. Pickup of maybe a yard. Brings up 3rd down and about 2. And I believe that was Sheeran again.
Sheeran was a ball carrier, but Zach Welch, this time lining up on the outside, saw the play. It was a misdirection trap play. He slid down the line of scrimmage and really sealed that hole nicely to make that stop on Sheeran.
7-6 our score. 1:05 left in the first quarter. El Cajon Valley has the lead, and they have the football here. 3rd and 1 from their own 32. Handoff, and it looks like enough for a first down. And I believe that was Sheeran again. Or though.
I think that was
Amati.
Yeah. Again, they line up in the I formation, but really exaggerate a little bit farther behind the quarterback. There is the tailback, and that allows him to kind of read where the blocking was. That time he saw it to the outside off the tackle, and he easily gained first down yardage.
42 seconds left here in the quarter. 1st and 10 for the Braves. Looking to throw is Akeem Harris for the first time. He's under pressure and just gets rid of it before he is brought to the ground, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, got outside the tackle box there, did Harris with his speed, so the pressure was coming, kind of flushed himself out to the far side, and then threw that ball away before a defender came on top of him.
So 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. The clock will stop at 27 seconds. Nice crowd here on both sides. Again, Christian not far away, only a few miles down the road. Harris will pitch it to the far side. That's Antoine White. White trying to get to the corner, but good containment there by the Patriots, and White gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And that brings up 3rd down and long, and which should, I believe, will be the final play of the quarter.
Yeah, he didn't make the tackle, but he played it perfectly, did Paris Miller. Coming up from the cornerback position, read the running play, didn't allow White to use the speed to the outside to make that sharp cut inside. He extended him outside, and then when he finally had enough room to get around him, the great pursuit by the rest of the defense came over to make the stop.
And that will do it for the first quarter. The Braves have a 1-point lead, 7-6, here on PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Back here at El Cajon Valley High as the Braves will have it 3rd down and about 10. After that pitch there to Antoine White didn't really go for much. In fact, he actually looks like he lost maybe a yard on that. So El Cajon Valley will have a 3rd and long as they have a 1-point lead here to start the second quarter, 7-6.
It'll be interesting to see now if they'll get more and more involved with the passing game now on a 3rd and long here. Maybe get them on 1-1 coverage downfield and try to get them the ball that way.
So Akeem Harris under center here on 3rd and long, and they're going to look to throw. Harris fires, going deep, has a man. Just overthrew him. And it will bring up 4th down. And that was incomplete to Sadiq Al-Mosawi. And Al-Mosawi had a couple steps on him, just overthrown by about a half a yard.
Yeah, Harris wasn't bashful with that throw. Good spiral, maybe to the wrong shoulder, but really a nice throw as they double-covered Moon on the far side. Asawi was left one-on-one with a corner, and he easily beat that defender downfield.
So Trevor Howell will come in and line up to return the punt here for the Patriots. He's standing at his own 38. Kick is up. High kick. Howell's chased all the way back. He's just going to let it bounce. It takes a Braves bounce. Can they stop it inside the 5? They do. And it's going to be stopped right at the 5-yard line, and that is where Christian will take over. So a great special teams play there by the Braves.
Anthony Ty running downfield, and he was calm, cool, and collective. Took that initial bounce, knew it was only him and another teammate that could down that ball, and they did it perfectly. And this puts Christian now deep in their zone, and really with their backs right in their end zone. No mistakes here, Andrew. It could cost them 7 points.
Special teams is such an important part of the high school game, let alone, football in general, but especially here at the high school game. And showing why here as they pin the Patriots back down at their 5.
Yeah, watch this series. I would expect this. Maybe see Pete try to blitz and come in get in that backfield immediately.
Owens gets the carry, trying to get to the right side, dances around, and makes a couple guys miss before picking up a couple. Nice pickup there by Owens on 1st down, getting a little bit of breathing room. A gain of about 4.
Yeah, showed some patience there. Play looked like it originally was going to go to the outside. Nothing was there, so he waited for the blocking to kind of see where the hole would come. It came up straight up the gut, and he picked up a good 3 tough yards right there for Owens. Nicely done.
More importantly, giving Carrillo a little bit of room to kind of maneuver back there without worrying about being in the shadow of his own end zone. So 2nd down. And about 6.5 here as Carrillo's going to look to throw. He's under pressure, and he fires it on the screen pass, gets it to Owens, and Owens is tripped up out about the line of scrimmage. Good job there by the El Cajon Valley defense recognizing the screen.
Oh, Pete came in immediately, almost got Carrillo in the end zone. Somehow he just slipped that ball over Pete's outstretched arms to get it to Owens. Oh, so they would have had a safety. I figured he would come in on a blitz, and they waited for 2nd down, and he was untouched coming right in on the quarterback.
So a big 3rd down here. If El Cajon Valley can come up with a stop, they're going to have some good field position to work with. Christian, on the other hand, looking to keep this drive going. Carrillo will line up with 2 receivers here on the near side. Owens in the backfield. Man in motion, and there goes the end-around play again to Paris Miller. And Miller is bottled up a few yards shy of the 1st down marker, and it'll bring up 4th down and 2. And you figure the Patriots are going to punt this one away.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrum right there as the pile kept moving before the whistle was finally blown. But, again, nice in and around here, and nicely held defense stance there by the Braves, as it looks like it will be a punting situation for Christian.
It is 4th down. And here comes the punting team for the Patriots. 9:38 left here in the first half. El Cajon Valley 7. Christian 6, as the Braves defense just forces a 3-and-out.
Not the scoring that these two teams are accustomed to their first 2 weeks of the season, but really some exciting plays and some really outside-the-box type of alignments and play calling.
So Vernell Moon is back at about the 50-yard line awaiting the punt here for the Patriots, who are coming out of the huddle themselves.
Looks like number 11 is the punter for Christian.
David Jeremiah standing at the at the 1-yard line awaiting the snap here. And Vernell Moon, it's a fake. Handed off is Owens, and I believe he has it, is he took the snap and just went forward and picks up about 4. So a big gutsy play there by Christian's Matt Oliver, as the head coach Matt Oliver calls the fake.
Well, the one thing that scared me about that play, Andrew, was it took him a long time to get set up. And usually when you're punting, it's a pretty standard kind of, where you're going to line up. But right there, you knew something was up. And boy, great play calling. But give all the key on that play to Owens, because he has to take the snap and then find the hole immediately, because he could be stopped for no gain.
Carrillo, a quick screen pass out to the far side, a pickup of about 2 yards as he gets it out past to Phillip George, and not a lot there. Good job by the El Cajon Valley defense.
Yeah, and I was wrong. It wasn't number 11 as the punter. It was number 81, Kai Arvin, who was the punter on that last play for Christian.
A pickup of about 1.5 yards for the Patriots on that screen pass as Carrillo brings the troops there to the line of scrimmage. Fake pass and then a handoff to Owens, and not a lot there. A pickup of about 1 yard.
Yeah, some nice adjustments here by the Braves defense. That misdirection draw now isn't really working here in the second quarter. They've sealed up the interior linemen and the linebackers to kind of hold off that blocking scheme by the Patriots right now, and it seems to be working, as that was a short gain. A couple of times they've caught them, and they've gotten good yardage on that play.
3rd down and 7 is what they're going to mark it officially here. Trip receivers here on the near side for Carrillo. Carrillo roll out to the near side. Has time to throw it. Now he's going to tuck, and he's going to get hit and knocked out of bounds, hit hard. But he'll be about 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down marker, so it's going to bring up 4th down and 2 again. And, again, the punting unit's going to come back out for Christian. We'll see if they actually punted away this time or if they got more trickery up their sleeve.
Yeah, Owen Stahl came up and really gave a good hit to Carrillo from behind, as that play just kind of kept extending. Give all the credit to the DBs for the Braves, because they really didn't allow anybody open that Carrillo thought he could really throw the football and make a completion out of. He didn't want to force a turnover there, so he just kind of ate the football and took a heavy hit.
So Arvin will kick this one away. It's a low kick. It's blocked, and it's going to be recovered.
And I don't even think it was blocked. I think he kicked it off of Owens' back right there. So I don't know if Owens was blocked into his area of where Arvin kicks the football, but that was a low sinking liner.
There's discussion here because it was blocked, but Christian recovered it, but it shouldn't matter. It should be El Cajon Valley football. Christian is trying to argue that it's their ball, and the referees are huddled up here. But once it's blocked, it doesn't matter who recovers it.
But if it went Owens' back, then it's not blocked, and it's still a loose ball.
And I think that's what they're talking about here. So we'll see what they...
Because I initially thought it was blocked, but then I was thinking about it. It looked like Owens was put into the area where the ball was being kicked, and it could have hit off his back.
Yeah, now they're going to say it's El Cajon Valley football, which I believe is the right call.
Okay. I won't disagree with that, but I just never saw somebody get pushed into the ball as it's being punt.
So it's going to be the Braves football marked at the 33-yard line of Christian, and that's probably why they decided to fake it that last time, because that wasn't the prettiest of special team lineups. But
yeah, that's not going to win you punt, pass, and kicking competition the way he went at it.
But a first down now for the Braves, and the Patriot defense will have to come up strong. They've done a great job thus far, but the reason why El Cajon Valley scored the last time was they had great field position because of the interception. Now they have great field position because of the miscue on the punt. So we'll see if the Patriot defense can step up to the challenge here. They've done a great job thus far, but they're put in a tough situation again here after that miscue on the punt.
Well, good teams have to capitalize on mistakes, and this right here is a great opportunity for the Braves.
Fake pitch to Vernell Moon, and the ball is handed off up the middle, I believe, to Antoine White, and White picks up about 3. Like the play call. Didn't get a whole lot of yards there, but
I love the second effort by White right there, because he really got hit at the line of scrimmage and just kept his legs moving. They get something out of nothing.
Picks up 2, 2nd down and 8. Again, Christian's head coach, Matt Oliver, looking for his 100th career victory tonight. And it's looks shaping up to be a good one all the way through. So we'll see if his team can come through for him here and get number 100. Oklahoma Valley has other ideas. Again, White the ball carrier, and he is stopped after he picks up, it looks like 2 more. So 3rd down and about 6 for the Braves.
Yeah, that time number 61 for the Patriots came down the line of scrimmage and made a good stop there on that 2nd down play.
Now keep in mind, Oklahoma Valley has one of the better kickers in the county. So if they don't pick up the 1st down here, they're in the range. What happened 3rd down and 6 from the 29. Harris looking to throw, fires over the middle. The ball's tipped in the air, almost intercepted, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Tipped in the air, and there was a couple Patriots in the vicinity. Trevor Howell was one of them, but just couldn't get there.
Yeah, Howell had the one-on-one coverage with Moon. Harris's throw just a little bit too high right there as Moon tried to get a hand on it, but Howell knocked it away. And more importantly, he knocked it straight up in the air, so possibly another defender could come on over and intercept that ball, but to not to be as it hit the ground first.
And they're lining up for the field goal here. It'll be a 46-yard attempt. He hit a 43-yarder last week, is Irving Verbones. We'll see what he does here on this 46-yard attempt. Snap's good, and the whistle will stop it before it happens. And if that's on Oklahoma Valley, it's going to push them back and make it a 51-yard attempt, but the Braves are pointing towards the Patriots, saying it's on them.
I was just laughing because the holder did a Lucy on the kicker there when he heard the whistle.
Snoopy?
He took the ball away just as the kicker was about ready to tee off on it.
It is an offsides penalty on the Patriots. So that brings up 4th down. Now decision time here for the coaching staff at Oklahoma Valley. Coach Whitehead here has a 4th and 1. You have one of the better kickers in the county, but I think they're going to change their mind here and look to go for it.
Yeah, don't blame him here. If you can't make 1 yard, then you might as well put away the gear for until next year.
But at the same time, though, you have one of the better kickers, and you're taking off points off the way. We know this argument. We've had this argument over the years.
Straight ahead.
Harris will keep it himself, and it looks like he'll have it. He picks up a couple 1st and 10, so he does make the right call there. But, Thomas, you and I have been working games together here the past few years. And you know my theory of taking points off the board.
I agree with you, and but I think this game is different because you got to remember, we talked about in the pregame, they got basically wiped all over the field last year by Christian, and they want to send a statement, and the statement to them is not taking 3 points. The statement here is we can score 7 on you, and that's what the coaching staff of the Braves are thinking right now is that they need 7, and Coach Whitehead is the top of that. He knows he has to be aggressive, and he wants to win that line of scrimmage. And the gain of 4th and 1 means you're winning the line of scrimmage.
Well, their big offensive lineman, Cuauhtemoc Gutierrez, it has to come out. I guess the referee's saying he has blood on his elbow, so he has to come out and get that attended to. So that's one of their bigger linemen, so we'll see how that affects the offensive unit.
Trainer working on that right now to get him back in the game.
Gutierrez, 6'3", 270 pounds. Big boy down there for the Braves.
Big ingredient for their offensive line. They need him.
So 1st and 10. End around to Moon. Moon trying to get to the corner, but he is going to be wrestled down. A big loss on 1st down. That's going to be a loss of almost 10. In fact, I believe it will be 10.
Yeah, Trenton Souls and number 3, Phillip George are the playmakers right there as they came up and read it perfectly. Souls kind of stopped Moon in his tracks, and then when he was trying to get around him, that's when George came up and made the tackle. Great open field tackle by George, and that makes it now a 2nd down and 22, a loss of 12 on that play.
Big loss for the Braves there, as the Patriot defense was all over that one. False, it looked like a false start, but Harris bobbles the football and gets rid of it, throws it towards the end zone, but it's knocked away. Great defensive play there by the secondary of Christian as Trevor Howell was in the vicinity. Knocked that one away.
Yeah, Amosawa was the intended receiver. Had a step on Howell. Harris's throw kind of hung up a little bit too much. Not the crispest thrown pass, but it's still pretty good. And give credit also to Howell making that knockaway.
And Gutierrez, the lineman, coming back in. He has been attended to, but looks like there was some confusion on that last snap. I'm surprised that wasn't a false start penalty. It looks like the line moved a little bit. The ball was snapped, and Harris wasn't ready for it, bobbled it. But referee didn't make a call, and Harris was fortunate to get rid of that and have it fall incomplete.
Well, right now, I think for El Cajon Valley, they just have to get some yardage here and allow their talented kicker to get an easier kick.
Yeah, from here it'll be roughly a 50-yard field goal, so obviously very long even for NFL standards. So pick up a little bit more yards, like you said, to make it a little bit more manageable.
Well, not for David Akers. He had 63.
Is he on your fantasy team?
No comment.
So Harris will look to throw on 3rd and long. He's under pressure. He fires deep towards the end zone. Man, wide open, touchdown! As Vernell Moon snuck behind the defenders, and he gets in the end zone for the touchdown. Moon was all by himself.
Philip George fell asleep at the wheel because Moon went right by him right here on the near sidelines. Harris read it quickly and threw it for that far cone. Easy catch for Moon. 6 points with the extra point. They'll be up 14-6.
33-yard touchdown strike from Akeem Harris to Moon.
Great read, great route by Moon.
Extra point is up, and the extra point is perfect. 14-6. El Cajon Valley extends their lead over the Patriots with 3:52 left here in the first half on PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you the news and information and links to the great highlights. Follow us on PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOn Network. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Vernell Moon, we were talking about how he hadn't had the ball a whole lot here in the first half, but he got open there and is on the receiving end of a 33-yard touchdown strike from Akeem Harris.
Yeah, and boy, you got to scratch your head with Philip George. He made a nice play to negate a 12-yard loss on the first down play of that drive. But then on the touchdown play, just standing flat-footed, allows Moon to get past him. You can't allow that. And then the quarterback, great read by Harris, hit it to the far post for the touchdown.
And the ball is kicked off. It will go out of bounds. Almost goes in the end zone, but Christian will have great field position here as that's going to be a penalty as the ball hits at the 2-yard line and goes out of bounds.
I only laugh because that is the weirdest bounce I've ever seen a football make. It bounced at the 2, and it looked like it was just going to tumble into the end zone. And it made a sharp right and basically went out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Well, too bad it wasn't a punt. If you're an El Cajon Valley fan, that would have been beautiful.
Man, that was a weird bounce.
But the Patriots will have great field position as they'll start at the 35. Plenty of time here for Christian with 3:52 left before the half. So we'll see if they can get a drive going here before the end of the half. They've shown signs of being able to move the football with Rayvon Owens. But the past couple of defensive series, the Braves have been stout, not allowing much.
And they may open up their passing game now.
It's a reverse for the Braves, but for the Patriots, but the Braves are all over that as Philip George loses about 7 yards on that. That didn't fool anybody. Brings up 2nd down and 17.
Yeah, Anthony Michael Harris right there with the stop. He wasn't being fooled at all. You've probably seen that reverse a million times on the film sessions that they had all week to get ready for this game. They played it perfectly, the Braves. They got the momentum, and they're leading by 8 here as we're 3:22 until half.
So that will be 2nd down and 17 from the 28. The Christian had good field position to start this drive, but they moved the wrong way as the clock is at 3:10 here. For Carrillo, trip receivers out to the far side. And he's going to look to throw. Has time to throw it. Fires, has a man, George, and George can't hold on. Good throw by Carrillo, but George just couldn't hang on to it. And it brings up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, good coverage there, but George did kind of step away from the defender. Good pass by Carrillo. He just could not bring it into his body there for the incomplete pass.
Yeah, Carrillo made a perfect throw. It was only where his man could get it, and George just couldn't hang on. So 3rd and 17 with 2:59 left in the half. Big third down here because not only, obviously, you want to keep the drive going if you're Christian, but if you don't get the first down here, you give the Braves the ball back with plenty of time, and they would have decent field position. So Carrillo looking to throw. He's under pressure. He's hit as he throws. The ball is loose, and it's recovered by the Braves.
Rodney Pete made the coverage. He got taken out of the play, going far outside, inside rush. I didn't see who was the defender, but he came in hard and hit Carrillo on an open shot. That brought the ball loose. Pete got on immediately, and now they're back in business. Braves offense right at the 21-yard line of the Patriots.
Ryan Pete all over the place here for the Braves, and that's the last thing you wanted if you're Christian, because now you gave El Cajon Valley the ball at the 21-yard line with 2:51 remaining before the half, and they have a chance to extend their lead even further.
Karar Ali-Nizam with the hit there as the number 56 got the sack, but more importantly, jarred the ball loose. Another turnover for the Patriots, 3rd one here in the first half.
And they've all been huge. I mean, and turnovers are never a good thing, but all 3 of them for the Patriots have resulted in big plays for El Cajon Valley. White with the carry on first down, goes towards the left side, picks up about 3 or so.
Yeah, 2 fumbles, an interception, and a block punt. Not exactly, that's going to be on the highlight reel, that first half for the Patriots.
But with that being said, you're still only down by 8. So if you're Coach Oliver here for Christian, you can't be happy with the way you're playing, but at the same time, you're still in this game.
Yeah, and it really puts a lot of pressure on El Cajon Valley now to put this ball in the end zone and extend that lead. You want to have a 2-touchdown lead at least heading into half.
So 2nd down and about 7 here. Akeem Harris will fake the handoff. He rolls, fires over the middle, out of man, but just overthrows it. Brings up 3rd down and 7, and that looked like that was Kevin Darby.
Yeah, led him a little bit, but good throw by Harris, but led him a little too much. The ball was way out in front of the intended receiver for the incompleted pass.
2:04 left here in the first half, 14-6. El Cajon Valley has the lead. They have it 3rd and 7 from the Christian 18-yard line. Still a hot and
it's cooled down a bit. It's about 98 from 108.
Feel bad for the players out there. They must be feeling it because it's pretty hot just calling the game here, let alone in there playing. They must be definitely getting in a good workout. Harris under pressure on 3rd and long. He's hit hard and brought down for a loss of 2, and he'll brought down to the original line of scrimmage. But Christian showing great defensive pressure there up front. And he'll bring up 4th down and 10, and the kicking team will come in.
The captain, Tyler Leslie, he's in a standout 2-way offensive defensive lineman right there, and he just kind of slid down the line of scrimmage. Coverage sack there. Nobody was open. Harris kept looking and looking, and then finally Leslie came in and really gave him a good hit there for the coverage sack.
So Varbone will come in for a 37-yard, 38-yard attempt. 38 yards. Snap's good. Kick is up. Looks like it's good. It is 38-yard field goal. Extends the lead to 17-6.
Well, still a 2-score game as they're up 11 now as the Braves. So that's your mission accomplished. Ideally you wanted at least a 2-touchdown lead, but more importantly now it's going to take 2 scores for the Patriots to overcome your lead.
But at the same time, Christian has to be happy only giving up 3 there rather than giving up a touchdown after that turnover.
Yeah, it looked like everything. Sometimes you cannot outthink yourself with the pass plays, and maybe you should have run it a little bit more white and see if you could catch that Patriot defense kind of tired and maybe slipping through some holes there on the line of scrimmage.
And another thing to keep in mind if you're Christian here, with 1:14 remaining, you only have 1 timeout left, as they had to burn 2 timeouts early in the game, back-to-back possessions. So now, regardless of what happens here, they're going to only have 1 timeout. So we'll see how that factors in on what they decide to do.
It'd be interesting to see here if the Braves will squib kick it down the middle of the field here to burn off some more time.
As Philip George is back deep as Varbon ready to boot this one away for the Braves. Kicks it, and George will field it at the 5. Crosses the 10. It's going to be a handoff over to Owens. Owens trying to get to the side, and Owens brings it out to about the 27-yard line. So a little reverse handoff on the return will give the Patriots decent field position with 1:05 left here in the half.
Well, they faked it in the first quarter. They used it that time, and it got them some good yardage as the Braves kind of looked flat-footed on that exchange handoff there. Not quite sure if it was just a fake or if they actually made it.
1:05 left in the first half. Carrillo will bring his team out. They're going to mark it at the 26. So with one timeout, they're going to have to go 74 yards if they want to get into the end zone. Draw play to Owens on first down as he picks up about 5, maybe a little bit less, depending on the spot there. But Christian not looking like they're in much of a hurry to get something going here as we're approaching 49 seconds.
Yeah, this guy's a look that they might just take a knee here and go to half down 11.
Yeah, they're not showing a lot of urgency trying to move the ball downfield. But they will throw here on second down. Carrillo going deep. And the ball is almost caught.
No.
Knocked away at the last moment, but it was Kai Arvin was the intended receiver. Had it momentarily, but the defender stripped it loose, and it will be incomplete.
Yeah, great play there by DeAndre Pre right there. One-on-one coverage with the intended receiver. It looked like the receiver caught it, and then Pre at the last second stripped him away of the ball for an incomplete pass.
That would have been huge for Christian. It would have been first down inside El Cajon Valley territory, but now it's going to be third down and about 6 with 32 seconds left. Carrillo is going to throw again on third down. Fires and has his man George. George is knocked out of bounds, and that will stop the clock as it will be first down at the 40 with 25 seconds left. And I think we're going to see more of that in the second half. Christian is, talking with the coaching staff before the game, they wanted to air it out. They wanted to kind of have a big play, and we didn't really see them attempt it a whole lot in the first half. But seeing it here in this final, drive here, they've looked comfortable.
Well, sometimes, I think it looked like they wanted to run the ball and show that they can be a running team and maybe take those offensive players of El Cajon Valley off the field. But you got to be what you are on the field, and they're a passing team. Big play options.
Carrillo looking to throw again here on first down. A flag comes flying out, and Carrillo is going to be brought down, a coverage sack, as he is brought down, and 14.6 seconds left, but the flag was thrown in the area of holding. And we have Brave players signaling that is the call, and we'll wait for the official call. There it is, holding on the Braves.
Well, I tell you, Carrillo, for not a tall guy, but boy, he does not shy away from getting hit. As he challenged that defensive front line of the Braves right there, and he took some pounding there. Carrillo goes listed at 5'10", 175, but boy, he plays definitely at a higher height and level.
Carrillo only a junior, replacing the Mr. Everything quarterback last year, Shane Dillon, who's now at the University of Colorado. Dillon put up just astronomical numbers for the Patriots while he played for Christian.
And you get the feeling that once they get that thing kind of going in the right direction, he's going to do the same at Colorado.
Yeah, that guy was not only a football player, a heck of a basketball player as well. Carrillo fires, and the receiver is knocked down, but I believe that was, you're going to say, was incidental contact there as he kind of slipped. Pass falls incomplete as he was trying to find Philip George, and that's going to bring up second and long with 1.8 left.
Yeah, and what saved Anthony Ty there was he was looking back at the quarterback when he threw the ball. If he was not looking at him, I think they would have thrown the flag. Can't have incidental contact on those type of plays.
Yeah, going back to Shane Dillon, I saw him play Christian, played Madison a couple times last year as I helped coach the Madison basketball team. And Dillon, man, he's just as good a basketball player as he is a football player. He has athleticism and definitely hard to replace a guy like that. As Carrillo will take a knee to end the first half, and we'll head to the halftime break with the 17-6 lead for El Cajon Valley. as the Braves have an 11-point lead heading to the locker room. We'll step aside. We'll come back with the second half in just a bit here on PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com as we are just about to start the second half with El Cajon Valley on top of Christian. 17-6. I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy. An entertaining first half. Some big plays and some timely turnovers that really hurt Christian. And we'll see what adjustments they made at halftime break. And we'll see if they can start moving the football a little bit more consistently in the second half.
Yeah, they really need to kind of get it going offensively, and I agree with what you're saying, that maybe they'll turn it around here with emphasizing a little bit more of the passing game that we were kind of expecting, but we really didn't see until that final drive before the end of the half. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments both teams. But the Braves right now, I think they still got to maintain that intensity defensively. They seem to be stopping that running game now and forcing Christian now to go to that passing game, and let's see if possibly that will open it up a bit for the Patriots. But offensively, they got to execute a little bit better. They had their chances, 3 turnovers and a block punt, and they have 17 points, which isn't bad. But they had a few more opportunities to really put their point total maybe into the high 20s before the end of the first half.
And that's why if you're Christian right now, you got to look at it from that perspective and say, hey, look, we played not that great in the first half, and we're only down 11. So right now their defense is they're going to kick off to start the second half, and we'll see if they can come up with a stop and give their offense a chance to cut into this lead. Kickoff is up. Ty will call a fair catch. He's one of the upmen, and he will call it at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Braves will start the second half from their own 25.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Christian, you hold them here 3 and out. You get the punt, and who knows, you get good field position. You score on that initial drive here in the second half, you're in this football game.
And that's what I mentioned at the tail end of the second half, is that Christian defense has done a good job. The problem has been those turnovers that put them in a tough spot where they've been backed up in their own territory, and that's every time Christian or El Cajon Valley has scored is because of that. So Christian's defense actually has done a good job. It's just they've been put in tough situations. Yeah,
and they've really held Mood in check, except for that kind of misread by George that kind of blew by him. He was flat-footed, but they scored the 7 points there on a great throw by Hakeem Harris.
So Harris will start the second half with the handoff over to Antoine White, and he is bottled up. He'll lose a yard, so a good start there by the Christian defense. And White loses 1, brings up second and 11.
Yeah, Trenton Souls right there, the inside linebacker for Christian, got that initial hit on White. Didn't take him down, but got that good first hit as he was coming through the line of scrimmage and kind of bounced off of him and then into another defender.
So just underway here in the second half, 17-6. El Cajon Valley has the lead. They have it second down, and it's a long 10 after that short loss by Antoine White. Hakeem Harris under center. And again, we'll hand it off to White. White dances around and has some room to work, and he's still going. He's at midfield. Crosses over, and he is tripped up at the 41-yard line, but flags come flying in late, and it may be a face mask. But what a run.
Yeah, started out a little bit slow. White was couldn't really see him. He was a little bit outside, trying to see if he could get it all the way to the outside. And then his burst of speed, when he saw that hole, he cut it far outside. Thought he had it. Then with a defender coming towards him, he cuts back inside, a good sharp inside cut. And then that's where the penalty arose. Andrew speculating on possibly a face mask. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, no. It is going against the Braves. And it's gonna be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it should still be a first down, but that negates a huge play. And the reason why I thought it was a face mask is the way White went down. It looked like he went down awkward, and then I saw a couple defenders from El Cajon or from Christian kind of lobbying to the official, but maybe they were lobbying that they were held. So that might have been. But it will be a first down after that run because it's 10 yards from where the infraction occurred.
And obviously we can't get the numbers. The referees are not mic'd here, but you got an inkling on a play like that. It has to be a wide receiver downfield, and they always are notorious the whole downfield, especially on a DB coming back to try to make the tackle on White.
So 1st and 10 from their own 47 after the big play. It's going to be a pitch over here to Antoine White to the near side. Good containment by the Patriots, and he loses about 3 yards on the play, if not maybe a little bit more. We'll see where they spot it. Antoine White, I'm surprised they went right back to him after that big run. Didn't give him a chance to kind of catch his breath.
Boy, what a play by number 21, Chad Humphreys. He came up from the inside linebacker position and read it immediately that he was going to try to go wide outside, and he went right for the legs of White and took him out. So a nice play there by Humphreys of the Patriots.
And White loses 6 yards on that, so it's going to be second down and about 16. So it'll be second down and long here for the Braves from their own 42. Harris rolling. He's under pressure. He's going down. He is sacked at the 35-yard line. And it looks like the first player there I saw was Tyler Leslie, captain on the defensive side, got in there and threw Harris to the ground.
Yeah, it was Leslie from the defensive end position, and then also give credit to the outside linebacker, number 56, Chris Jones. He came in also. But, boy, they could not stop Leslie. He threw his pass blocker right to the ground and then went right towards Harris, and he was an easy target for the sack.
So 3rd and 21 now for the Braves after the sack loses 5 more yards. And so after that big run by White that was negated, they've moved backwards on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, right here. You want to get in your hands of your big-time player, Moon, and see if he can kind of gain some yardage back the other direction.
Harris, quick throw, and his receiver's not looking, and it just falls incomplete. As I believe that was Darby he was looking for.
Misread. It looked like Moon cut to the hash marks on the inside, and Harris, as you said, trying to lead Darby on the outside. Darby didn't even look back, so he obviously didn't even know the play was coming towards him.
Well, that's exactly what Christian wanted. They come up with a big stop defensively, 4th and 21 now, and now the Patriots will get the ball back as Howell will stand at his own 25.
And what's frustrating about that for El Cajon Valley is they stopped themselves with the holding call.
High kick. Howell's just going to let it bounce. It takes a Braves bounce and rolls out of bounds at the 24-yard line, and that is where Christian will take over with their first offensive series here in the second half. They trail 17-6, but they're going to try to trim into that lead here as they get their first possession.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also a place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy. Christian looking to get back into this ball game as they trail by 11, but they'll get their first offensive series. And it looks like there was a flag on the play.
I think they're going to repunt the ball.
I didn't see where the flag was thrown. I didn't see it on the field there, but
I didn't either.
It may have been a late call. But that's going to push them back
even
further. And so Howell now will move up 5 yards and will stand at his 31.
They're almost in danger of being out of the county the way
after that big run by White that got called back, they have moved backwards on every play that they've snapped.
And if I'm Coach Oliver, I'm smiling right now because that's exactly what you wanted from your team.
So Howell, that's a high kick. Howell's going to field this. Is he going to return it? No, he calls a fair catch at the 31 or 32, and that is where Christian will start this possession from their own 32 as they trail 17-6.
It'll be interesting here. Now we got to watch what they're going to do here. They're going to run it like they did for the majority of the first half, or they're going to open it up a bit. I got to believe they're going to open it up.
Yeah, I think they tried to run, and they showed spurts of looking good there with Rayvon Owens, but it's just not their game. You got to start. And we saw at the end of the first half when they did open it up, they had some good looks.
As Bill Parcells used to say, "You are what you are," and they're a big play offense. They're not a ball control running game.
End around over to Paris Miller, and Miller makes a man miss. He's still going. He's at midfield. He may be gone. He's at the 40, the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown Patriots on their first play of the second half. Paris Miller takes it 68 yards.
Boy, and the end around was working perfectly there, as he waited patiently. Second time, he waited for his blockers to kind of open it up, and then he would kind of guide through that hole. And that time, he used his speed beautifully as the defensive secondary tried to come over pursuit-wise, but just could not pick up the ball, and he blew right by them.
Paris Miller with the end around. A huge play, just what Christian needed. As we were talking about their big play offense, well, there you go. 68-yard run from Miller. He got by that initial swarm of defenders, and he was gone.
Yeah, he executed his speed perfectly to the outside, and when he saw that lane open up big, he ran right through it, and with his speed, no defender got him.
And Christian calls a timeout. They're lining up to go for two, but they call a timeout to kind of talk it over here. So a timeout on the field with 8:33 left. 17-10 is where we stand right now. El Cajon Valley on top.
Yeah, they might have saw something right there, Andrew, that they didn't like. And to me, that's always a smart timeout. You can waste one timeout here in the second half. You want to keep those other two for late in the game. But I think you can waste one if you don't like what you've seen.
Yeah.
You got to get this 2-point conversion.
I got you, but why go for two? I mean, you must not have a lot of faith with your kicker at this point, because if you kick it, you're only down by 6. And then if you score again and kick the extra point, you're up. So why risk missing the extra 2-point conversion here?
Well, I think they want to get back on an even track. So in case
what is it? 17-10. I mean,
no, it's 17-12 because they missed the extra point.
Oh, I'm looking. Yeah, it's hot.
I hear what you're saying. 17. I
would talking about a different scenario. You're like, what are you talking about?
And now they're in that old formation.
The Creo will line up for two, and that is the right call as Rayvon Owens
flag
is in, but a flag comes flying out. I believe Owens was in, but.
And I hope it's not on George because he looked like he held that defender away from the ball.
There's still no signal here from the official, but. And they're going to say he was stopped short, but we'll see what the penalty was. And if it's against Christian, El Cajon Valley will just decline it and make it 17-12.
Stop short. That is, I mean, we're not exactly on.
No, it's going. Yeah, it's against Christian. It's an illegal formation, and they decline it. And he did not make it. So that is where we stand. So they missed the 2-point conversion. 17-12 is the score. 8:33 left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you make it, fine. You're still not, you still need another score to get.
No, I agree with that one. You go for two in that situation. I would agree with the coaching staff. I don't know what I was thinking there with the 17-10.
Well, they did have a 10-up on the score.
No, and that's normally where the other team scores.
Right.
Not to make any excuses there, but. So 17-12 with 8:33. Christian gets back in it, but they're going to kick this one away, and El Cajon Valley will get the ball back and try to respond after that Paris Miller touchdown run.
And I think for El Cajon Valley, they have to get Moon into this offense because he's been too long, too quiet. Sure, he has a touchdown pass, but overall, he's been non-existent on the football field. They're playing basically 11 on 10 because they cannot get any type of offense out of him except for that breakdown in the pass coverage.
8:33 left as Christian getting ready to kick this one away. Mason Powell.
Moon lining up at the 10-yard line, so he may try to catch this football and do something with it off the return.
Powell just kind of a pooch kick. Ty will feel that he's going to run it, and he is brought down at the 32 is where they're going to say his momentum stopped. And so the Braves will have good field position to start this drive. And again, we have some pushing and shoving between the two schools.
Well, excellent pooch kick there because he had a lot of hang time on there. And that allows your return team to get downfield. And when Ty makes the catch, he really has no room to run with the football. And he really just got lucky that he got across the 30-yard line. Is there a flag? I didn't see one.
The referees are discussing something here. And I don't see anything on the field, and I didn't see one thrown, but they're discussing something with 8:29 left, and they have the ball marked at the 34 is where officially they're going to start this drive once the referees finish their conference. Personal foul going against El Cajon Valley. personal foul going against Christian. So it's a double offsetting penalty there. But I didn't see a flag come out.
One on the Braves and one on the Patriots. The penalties will offset.
And are they going to re-kick? The referees are still getting things sorted out here. I didn't think that was a re-kick. Yeah, so that's 34-yard line is where Christian will start. Referees started marching them backwards, but it will start at the 34, as that is where the play ended. So Harris on the draw play.
Looks like White got that carry.
And White picks up a nice solid yard.
Sharon was the fullback.
Solid yardage there on first down. Pickup of about 4. Second down and 6.
And that's worked a few times in this game, too, handing it off to Sharon. He's got some good yardage up the gut.
So the Patriots looking for another stop here to give their offense a chance to possibly take the lead if they can get the ball back and get into the end zone again. 17-12 our score. El Cajon Valley on top. 7:48 left in the third quarter. Keem Harris hands off to White. White trying to get out to the outside. Nice yardage on second down, but he'll be about a yard shy of the first down, and he'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Yeah, great tackle there by one of the interior linebackers for Christian, number 55, and that is Steven Johnson.
So a big 3rd down.
Boy, just short.
And we have an official time I think they're going to measure, but it looked like he was short.
I like this measurement. And sometimes the coaching staff could also go ask for it just to make so they can kind of get
free timeout, basically,
yeah.
and kind of
to help
talk
out
with your team for a minute.
Kind of last minute decide whether or not you want to run or risk a
Well, if he's short, it's not going to be by much. And so if I'm Coach Whitehead of El Cajon Valley, I say, Harris, just keep yourself to just a quick little QB keeper to pick it up. But we'll see. Here comes the chains. And he is going to be short by the nose of the football.
Yeah, this is a quarterback sneak. You get that snap from the center, and you just basically go right underneath his legs and fight for that first down. They're bringing the big guy in, though, Christian. He'll probably play over the nose. Number 76, Paul Legengruber, 6'2", 300 pounds.
Yeah, that's a
I'm sorry, the center, number 77, he's going to have a tall task right there.
Yeah, it's a big size football player down there.
But Petros is 6'4", 342. So the battle of the Titans right there.
3rd and 1. The initial plunge.
He may have gotten it.
I think the initial plunge forward got it, and it's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah, it looks like an old John Madden line, wherever they put that right. There's a right or a left foot. I think this is a right foot. John Madden wrote in one of his books that if the official pointed with his right foot, you got the first down. If it was the left foot, then he knew he was nervous.
Well, this time they pointed first down, so it's the first down and 10 for the Braves from their own 44-yard line as we have 6:57 left in the third quarter. 17-12, Braves on top.
And I think that first down is the first down of the second half of the Braves. And I think that will settle them down offensively. They're still in the lead here by 5 points, and then they got to remember that.
White gets a handoff, has some room to run, and is tripped up a yard shy of the first down. 2nd down and 1. So Antoine White on the off-tackle play on the left side, the far side, picks up 9, brings up 2nd down and short.
Yeah, great hole right there by the left side of the offensive line for
there's
El Cajon Valley as it opened up a wide hole.
I don't see a flag on the field, but they did call a false start or an illegal motion. It must have came out late. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
But false start, so that takes away a big 9-yard run from Antoine White, and the Patriots will definitely take that, as that's going to move them back 5 yards. It'll be first down and 15.
And you don't want to get down. The second time now, they start off with good momentum and then move back on a penalty. You don't want to get in that habit of positive one moment and then negative, and then you turn the ball right back over to the Patriots on a punt.
And again, there's movement on the line from El Cajon Valley, and the false start penalty, moving back 5 more yards. So 1st and 20. And you got to think Coach Whitehead right now is...
Boy, he's coming out on the field. I think he's called a timeout. I think to settle his team down here, Andrew.
Yeah,
they're very... They're moving. They're anxious. They want to make a play, and they're just not concentrating.
So timeout on the field. 17-12. The Braves have the lead, but they're moving in the wrong direction here with 6:11 left in the third quarter.
Stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game as we'll wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy. So a 9-yard run negated by an illegal formation penalty. Moves them back, and then a false start penalty moves them back. So now 1st and 20 instead of having it 2nd and 1.
Right now, emotion's taking over especially on that offensive line. And a nice timeout there by Coach Whitehead. Settle his team down. You still have 2 to play with here when you get into the fourth quarter. But that was definitely a necessary timeout. He had to settle his team down. They were going backwards. And, they still have 3 downs.
You can feel the momentum kind of switching over here to the Patriots, especially after that last offensive series where they scored on that 168-yard run. Ball comes loose, but the referee is going to say that White was down after the run there, pickup of a couple. Brings up 2nd down, and we'll call it about 17. And we have an injured Patriot on the field.
Yeah, number 20 for Christian.
That's a Trenton Sauls.
Yeah, the inside linebacker. It looked like he got kind of tied up with one of the offensive linemen there on that inside draw play to White.
So the coaching staff and trainer coming to attend to Sauls. That would be a big loss for the Patriots, as again he's a big key to their defensive side of the ball and also an important role offensively, kind of their big power back.
Yeah, and looking at his legs. Especially when you get down, when you play inside linebacker and you're handling, trying to take on a guard and a tackle and possibly the center. A lot of action there, and sometimes legs get tangled up and you do get injured.
So we're going to take a timeout here on PlayOnSports.com. 17-12, El Cajon Valley has the lead. Back here at El Cajon Valley High as Trenton Sauls is getting helped over to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like a lower left leg injury. Could be the knee or the ankle. Just couldn't really tell, but he could not put any pressure on that leg as he was helped off.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 17 here for the Braves after the back-to-back penalties, and then White with the 3-yard run. Brings up 2nd and 17, and the Patriots trying to get them to force a punt here again and give their offense a chance to march down the field and take the lead in this game, and it would be their first lead. They have trailed throughout. El Cajon Valley started the game with the touchdown, scored first in this game, and Christian tied it or answered with a touchdown, but missed the extra point and has been trailing ever since.
Yeah, Christian has never led in this football game.
So 2nd and 17 for Akeem Harris and the Braves. Harris, quick fire, and has it complete. And inside Christian territory for a first down. And Ryan Pete on the offensive side comes up big.
Boy, and that's a play that they didn't execute at the end of the first half, as the intended receiver just did not look back towards Harris. That time Pete came in, and that's all he was looking at was at the QB. And Harris made a great read and threw the defender off, as really coming back to help out there with Sebastian Swift, the junior linebacker, who had to come from behind to take down Pete.
So the Patriot defense has to keep their composure here, as they had them at 2nd and 17 and give up a big play. Flag comes flying in.
And that has to be hold.
Antoine White picks up about 4, but we'll wait to see what the flag is all about.
Yeah, the judge behind the linebacker threw the flag, and 9 times out of 10, that's a hold on either the guard or the center.
2 officials are talking about it now. White would have had about a 4-yard run, but it looks like that may be coming back.
And El Cajon Valley on that pass play to Pete really challenged Swift, who came in to replace Sauls, the injured player, and then they got that first down. So smart coaching there by Coach Whitehead and his offensive staff.
It's going to be a chop block going against El Cajon Valley. And that's a big one. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty for the Braves. So instead of a gain of 4, they're going to march back 15 yards.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
That hurts. And again, the momentum goes right back to the Patriots. So the Patriots give up that big play to Ryan Pete. But now they have a chance to kind of get the momentum back, as they have a first down and very long.
Yeah, and that's the way it's been here in the second half. You move 2 steps forward and then go 4 steps back. And this offense has to get in order, and they really have to show more composure than they are.
So 1st and 25. The Christian defense gets a second crack at coming up with a stop on this drive. Draw play to White, and White is tripped up near midfield. Pickup of about 6 or 7 on the play. Nice call there on first down.
You're trying to keep the defense honest there. Draw play always does that, because you've got a feeling that the Patriots are coming from the outside with more blitzing towards Harris. So that time, try to keep them honest. You run it straight up the gut and pick up whatever yardage they're willing to give you.
So 2nd down and long.
15.
Akeem Harris under center. And he fires over the middle, and he misses his receiver. Had a step, just kind of overthrew that just a little bit, and that was to Almasawi. And Almasawi had a step, but just overthrew it.
Yeah, nice idea. They just could not execute the ball towards him for the incompleted pass.
So the Patriots now have a big 3rd down coming up. They come up with a stop here. They're going to get the ball back. 3:54 left in the 3rd quarter. Braves up 17-12. And a big 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, give credit to Chris Jones, the senior outside linebacker, defensive end. He was standing up that time, and he was coming in with a good hard pressure on Harris. He may have to release that ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to avoid the sack.
And we have a timeout called by El Cajon Valley. So they burned through 2 timeouts early in the second half, similar to what Christian did in the first half. So timeout on the field, 3:54 left in the 3rd quarter, 17-12, El Cajon Valley on top of Christian.
Today's game is brought to you by California Printing Consultants, your one-stop printing source for all of your printing needs. Call CPC toll-free at 866-484-4039 or visit their website at cpcfirst.net for your next printing project.
So we'll see what Coach Whitehead comes up with on the timeout call here. And he realizes this is a big 3rd down. doesn't want to give Christian the ball with an opportunity to take the lead.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. It's an interesting call here. You're not getting a lot of time, so do you go for the first down or you just try to get some yardage to give your punter a decent field position and pin him back deep in their zone?
3rd down and long. It's 3rd and 16 actually on the board there. So big play here as Harris takes a snap, fires over the middle, and again overshoots his receiver. And that's going to bring up 4th and long, and that will give Christian the ball back as Kevin Darby, again, the intended receiver there. And Harris looked like he rushed that one a little bit.
Again, pressure from Jones, but I thought Darby kind of didn't go through his route as efficiently as he has in the past. Kind of slowed up there towards the end as Harris led him nicely, and it was a decent throw. It wasn't that far away from him. He just seemed like they just gave up on the route right towards the end.
Howell back to return the punt, calls a fair catch at the 21. Well, they're going to say 22-yard line, and that is where the Patriots will take over with 3:46 left in the third. Patriots trailing by 5, but they have the football here looking to possibly take the lead if they can get in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they need to get a turnover here or at least get 3 and out on the Patriots. They have the momentum clearly, down by 5. It's really going to be now this Braves defense to hold this lead now as their offense is struggling big time.
Yeah, they are in a rut, and like you said it perfectly, you're taking 4 steps forward or 2 steps forward and 4 steps back. I mean, after every time they come up with a big play, they have a big penalty that kind of negates it. So we'll see if the Patriots can capitalize. They run the same play that scored the touchdown to Miller. And he's trying to break free. He has some room to run. He has a first down still going. And finally dragged down at the 37-yard line. So Miller has been the offense for the Patriots. They've ran 2 plays so far in the second half. They have both gone to Miller, and it's gone for about 82 yards.
And that time Miller again, he kind of tripped himself up as he was trying to make an inside cut on the running play. Or else he would have had another long gainer. I'm not going to tell you he would have went in the end zone, but it would have went for over 30 yards.
Miller again goes in motion. They fake it this time. Now it goes straight up the middle. And that is going to Owens. And Owens picks up solid yardage on first down to pick up a 6. 2nd down and a long 4.
Yeah, right now you can feel it. The Patriots offensive line feels right now that they could kind of take over this game and really open up some holes now for Paris Miller and now for their talented back Owens up the gut, and they're really taking the heart out of this Braves defense. This team is on the ropes right now.
Carrillo, 2nd down and 5. Again, handoff to Owens up the middle. Carries a couple Braves with him. He'll be short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Good stop there by the interior line of the Braves there on Rayvon Owens. As Andrew said, it's going to be close, 3rd and 2. And you got to believe the way that they're playing this game, it's going to be another running play.
2.5 minutes to go here in the third. Carrillo on 3rd and short. Hands off up the middle. Owens carrying the pile. I believe he has it. He'll be brought down just beyond the first down marker, just depending, unless the referee gives him a unfavorable spot. But from up here, it looks like he has it.
Yeah, that offensive line winning the line of scrimmage battle as Owens really had a lot of room there. The linebackers have to come up and kind of try to seal those holes right there, and that made it tough yardage right there. But that interior front for El Cajon Valley is not winning the battle. They're getting pushed back, and they're getting pushed back by a lot by that big offensive line of Christian.
They're going to come out here and measure after that run by Owens. But, again, from up here, it looks like he has it. They're extending the chains, and he does have it. 1st down and 10. He had it by almost a full football length there.
And a 1st down for the Patriots.
And the Patriots will have it 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. So the momentum is definitely in favor of Christian right now. Both teams 2-0. Both teams obviously trying to go unbeaten here. Someone has to lose, of course, unless we end in a tie. But Both teams playing extremely well, though, and it's kind of been a tale of two halves. El Cajon Valley had definitely had the momentum throughout the first half, and so far here in the second half, it's been the Patriots with the momentum. It's 1st and 10, Carrillo looking to throw. He's under pressure, setting up the screen to Owens, and Owens only going to get a couple there as the Braves sniffed that one out, as Owen picks up about 3, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, nice reception there by Owens, because look at Carrillo threw a little bit of hard pass there on that little soft screen out to the flat, and Owens really concentrated to make that catch, and to make more importantly, after he made the catch, got some good yardage there to make it a 2nd down and long, but made a positive gain out of it.
Brings it into El Cajon Valley territory at the Brave 49. Handoff to Owens. Not a lot of room there.
Oh, broke away.
And it gets free somehow. I don't know how he managed to do that one. He hit the spin button and broke free. And it's going to be a few yards shy of the 1st down. So it looked like it was going to be a minimal gain. Turns out to be about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, it looked like middle linebacker Dylan Aguayo was going to make the initial stop. But then he 360'd out of his hands and picked up a good yardage. Got close to that 1st down marker.
So 3rd down and 2. Carrillo will keep it himself, and he's going to be stopped short.
Yeah.
And you got to believe they're going to go for it here on 4th down and a yard with 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, finally that time they held up at the line of scrimmage, did El Cajon Valley, and stopped Carrillo right in his path for a no gain.
4th down and about a yard, a little over a yard. 23 seconds left, and I believe it's about a yard and a half is what we're looking at here.
I think they're going to run the clock out here.
They're just going to let the clock run, I believe. Well, they stop it now.
They get measure?
No, there's no way they're measuring because they were short. The clock stops. The referee stopped the clock for some reason, and now they'll restart it.
That's a convenient stop of the clock. I like that.
Well, it started up, and it's going to run through here, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter. So when we start the 4th quarter, it's going to bring up a 4th and a yard and a half, which could determine a lot in this ball game. So after 3 quarters, 17-12, El Cajon Valley has the lead.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like this game tonight you're enjoying? Tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcasting Program. This program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So what do you do here, Thomas, on 4th down and a yard and a half? A little bit far for maybe a quarterback keeper. You have a big back, or a great back, I should say, in Owens, Rayvon Owens. What do you do?
Well, I think you said it earlier with the injury to Sauls now. That negates him because he would have been brought out there to get this tough yardage. And he might have been out there even on 3rd down, so you wouldn't go with the quarterback sneak. You got to give it to Owens, and you just got to put the emphasis on your offensive line to get that hole and open it up for him to get the 1st down.
So this play could tell a lot in this ball game, because if they stop it, obviously the momentum will switch back over to the Braves, and the Braves will have good field position.
Yeah, and quickly, El Cajon Valley, you got to put 10 men in the box. Challenge them to throw the football, because right now they're not doing it, and you're giving it, you're expecting the pass game that has been non-existent tonight.
So here we go, 4th down, and we'll call it a yard and a half. Trying the hard count there, trying to get the Braves offsides. We have a different quarterback in as well. It's a handoff, and it looks like the ball is going to have it. Owens picks up the 1st down. That was Howell in that quarterback. And he'll come out, and Carrillo will come back in. But Owens picks up a huge 1st down there for Christian.
Yeah, moving the chains and moving the clock, more importantly. They don't have the lead, but, they're down 5, but you just get the feeling that Christian's winning this football game.
Yeah, and they definitely have the momentum right now, and El Cajon Valley kind of playing on their heels right now.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at the El Cajon Valley defense. They have their hands on their hips. They seem down, dejected, but they're winning this football game. And somehow they have to get that. They have to instill that, the coaching staff, to this defense. say, hey, you're winning this game. Make a play, create a turnover and get the offense back.
You got to give credit to Matt Oliver, the head coach for Christian, making a lot of adjustments at halftime because this second half has been controlled by Christian. And El Cajon Valley really hasn't done anything. In fact, they've shot themselves in the foot more than they've done anything positive here in the second half.
Coaching staff for the Braves was voicing their displeasure to the referees. I don't know what their beef is about, but they were definitely very they had a problem with a couple of these officials.
The 1st and 10 from the 41. Carrillo fires it over the middle. Has a man diving attempt. Did he come up with it? No. Incomplete pass as Jacob Porras made a great attempt. Almost came up with it, but couldn't hang on and brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, great attempt, but ball clearly hit the turf before he had possession of football. Broken coverage there. Getting lucky with that play was the El Cajon Valley DB. And I think that was Matthew Shuren right there who had the one-on-one coverage.
So 2nd down and 10 from the Brave 42-yard line. Carrillo is going to look to throw again. He's hit as he throws it. Fires incomplete to the far sideline. Yeah, see, it looks like Philip George was the intended receiver there, but just overshot him. He was under pressure.
Anthony Ty, one-on-one coverage, and did not give up ground there. George tried to cut inside towards the hash mark, and Ty wouldn't have it. Did not give up the position, and it turns into an incomplete pass.
And you figure this is 4-down territory again for Christian here. So you figure on 3rd and 10 here at the 42, you don't have to pick up all 10 yards on this 1st down. I think you can make it a little bit more manageable. But we'll see what they elect to do.
Well, I don't understand. You're running the football, and now you've thrown 2 pass plays for no apparent reason, and now you give yourself a 3rd and 10, which is an obvious passing situation.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because it is 4-down situation, so you can run it here, pick up 4 or 5, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. A pitch, trick play is going back and almost intercepted as the ball was pitched back to the Howell. Howell tried to find Carrillo, and Carrillo was the intended receiver, but the ball was knocked away at the last moment, bringing up a 4th and 10.
Number 21, Esquire, came up and tipped that ball away. But again, Howell came in, and you just mentioned that he came in as a quarterback in one of the prior on the 4th down play. This time he gets the handoff by Carrillo. He rolls out towards the near sidelines, throws back to Carrillo almost like a Tebow to Mark Sanchez. If you saw the opening week game of the Jets right there, they tried that play, and that time it was broken up by Esquire nicely. He wasn't fooled by it. Covered the quarterback.
And they're going to punt this one away. Moon back to return it, and he will pick it up on the bounce at the 15, crosses the 20, 25-30, brought down at about the 31-yard line. So a net of about 12 yards on that punt.
Yeah,
and you figure it would have been 4-down territory, but Christian coaching staff had faith in their defense, which they should. They've had a great second half, but after that return by Moon, it only netted 12 yards.
Yeah, and that coverage downfield was being awfully scared that Moon's speed ability, if he broke a couple of tackles, he could outrun the rest of the punt return team downfield. So they kind of converged on him and then try to get at him collectively as a group instead of 1 or 2 individuals. You'd rather give up the 12 yards than to give up the touchdown.
And there was a legal procedure penalty on the Patriots, but they declined it because of the good return there by Moon. So the Braves will have it at the 31-yard line with 11:18 left. And we'll see if the Patriot defense can come up with another stop.
And Coach Whitehead has to instill into Harris as he runs onto the field is you have a 5-point lead. Get a couple of 1st downs and get this team into our opponent's territory, and then let me handle the play calling from that point. But right now, they got to get downfield and show some positive yardage here on this drive.
1st and 10 from the 31. Ball is handed off to White. Antoine White picks up about 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7, and the clock will roll. Still just about a full quarter here as we have 11:05 left in regulation.
Yeah, Antoine White has not been flashy, but he's been consistent. He picks up that 3 to 4 yards to get you going in the right direction. And when he breaks one, unfortunately here in the second half, it's been usually either called back or nullified by a penalty.
So a nice, solid pickup on first down, 2nd and 7. Anytime you can get 3 yards or more on first, the coach is usually pretty pleased. 2nd down and 7, handoff on the left side, and a nice big pickup of about 6 as White is close to the first down marker.
Well, that SC formation in the I back, White coming up, reads the block as he's about 10 yards back off the quarterback. That allows him to read the entire offensive line blocking scheme. And he's been choosing the right O every time tonight when they're in that formation.
So 3rd and a yard. Antoine White has touched it both times on this drive and has given the Braves a 3rd and 1. Keem Harris under center. Again, will hand off to White, and White is tripped up just beyond the first down marker. It should be a first down. And the referee is now signaling first down. So 1st and 10 for the Braves at the Patriot 42.
Yeah, good open field tackle by the junior, Sebastian Swift. As he came up and took White down. Boy, I thought he got him just before that line of scrimmage. So good spot by the officials if you're an El Cajon Valley fan. But, boy, good tackle by Swift.
So the Patriots defense looking for that stop. They were so close. They had the ball inside El Cajon Valley territory just a moment ago, but the drive stalled and had to punt it away, and now the Braves pick up a first down and have it 1st down and 10 from their own 42-yard line. And flags come flying out on the play before the play can get going.
Yeah,
it's going to be a false start.
Derby was in motion, and I don't think he set before the snap of the ball.
So it's going to be 1st and 15 now, and again, like you said, you have a good start, and now they start moving backwards. And Coach Whitehead has to be just going crazy at this point. And you can look at him on the side here. His hands on his hip, just kind of in disbelief. He's an intense guy. We were talking to him before the game. A lot of energy, very involved and intense, and has this program going in the right direction. And you can see why, with the talent they have out there and his demeanor. He's definitely have 2 good head coaches out there tonight.
Yeah, and what I like about both of them, it's straightforward and honest. Oh, yeah. Not the standard answers that you get from a lot of coaches in and around high school football.
Harris will keep it himself, spins out of a tackle, and will be brought down at the line of scrimmage, so it brings up 2nd and 15.
Well, Christian right there just pinned their ears back and came after the quarterback. They guessed right. They expected a pass play, and Harris really didn't have any time as he was running for his life immediately after he took the snap of the football. And once again, it's going to be 2nd down. I think they even lost a yard on that play, so it would be 2nd down and 16.
8:45 remaining in the 4th. The Patriot defense trying to come up with a stop.
I would run White right here and get some yardage back.
And again, we have whistles before the play can get going. This game has definitely had its share of penalties. That is
false start. I mean,
moving backwards. And Christian right now has to be licking their chops, saying, "Hey, look, we're getting in a position now where we have a chance to stop them, give an offense another opportunity."
Yeah, El Cajon Valley will be practicing the snap count, I think, all on Tuesday when they get back to the practice field.
5 more yards on the penalty.
As they watch this film, and that will be emphasized a lot, the false start.
2nd and 21.
2nd down and 21, the clock rolling. 8:09 left. Ball is marked at their own 30-yard line. 17-12, El Cajon Valley on top of Christian here. So Christian trying to give their offense another opportunity. 2nd down and 21. Harris will hand the ball off. And just a couple there from White, maybe a pickup of 2. 3rd down, and we'll call it 19.
Boy, great play there by number 65, Adair, the junior defensive lineman. He slid down nicely and just sealed that hole as White was trying to run through it. Thought he saw an opening, but Adair slid down immediately and sealed it up and really made a good tackle.
3rd and 19 from their own 32, 7:22 remaining. So Akeem Harris under center. We'll have a man in motion from the far to the near side, and what is going to be an end around to Moon, but we have flags flying out again. And again, this is going against El Cajon Valley, a false start. They're trying to get it to their playmaker Moon there on the end around, which looked like he may have had some room. But now they're going to move back 5 more yards, 3rd and 24, and Christian right now is just saying, all right, thank you. Just every penalty moves them 5 yards closer to Christian being able to 5 yards closer to them scoring.
And to me, if I'm the coaching staff, I have to talk to the referees and just find out what is going on with the end around. That's the second time an end around the Moon has been negated by a false start.
3rd and 24. And we have whistles again. Delay a game against El Cajon Valley.
Wow.
3rd and 29. The fans over here are getting a little restless as you can hear some boos coming out.
Quick kick it.
Yeah. At this point, with no one back there, might not be a bad idea.
Elway would have done it.
Harris looking to throw, and he is hit hard and sacked, brought down at the 15-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th down in eternity. And the Patriots are going to have great field position after this punt.
Qualimatic Gutierrez there with the sack, number 73 for Christian. And, man, it's an obvious passing situation. That offensive line has to come up and give Harris some time. He hasn't even had time now in his last 2 passing attempts to even throw the football. He's been hit or running for his life immediately as he gets the ball. Big breakdown, and Coach Whitehead now is talking to his offensive line. There goes the punt, and it's a nice high one. And it's going to be down at about the 48-yard line by El Cajon Valley. So Christian has great field position, Andrew, right near the midfield mark.
Then the Patriots have 5 minutes and 39 seconds, and like you said, great field position from near midfield. And if they get in the end zone, they take the lead. They haven't had the lead this entire game, and they have a chance here to take the lead when it counts most at the end of the game. So the defense now for El Cajon Valley will have to try to preserve this game as their offense has been sputtering.
And now which offense will we see from the Patriots? Their ground attack that has basically dominated this defense, or will they try to pass the ball?
And they're going to try the end around to Paris Miller again. And Miller is hit this time as he picks up only a yard. 2nd down and 9. So
Esquire once again comes up and makes the stop. It looked like he read it from the free safety position, kind of mirrored Miller as he came down the line of scrimmage on the end around, as Andrew stated. But then he came right up, kind of slid through some blocking schemes to get that tackle.
5:05 left here in the 4th. 2nd and about 9 for the Patriots after that 1-yard run, handoff to Owens, and Owens is met at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he may have lost a yard, and it's going to bring up, we'll just call it 3rd and 10 now with 4:45 left in the 4th. And now a big 3rd down coming up, and you got it. And I know I said this last time, but I'm pretty confident this is 4th-down territory for the Patriots now.
Aguayo with a stun up the gut, and, man, he met that running back Owens right at the line of scrimmage for a hit, and I think Owens kind of squirmed his way for a few yards.
So 4:19 left, big 3rd down. Carrillo's going to throw. He has time to throw it, has all day to throw it. Going towards the far side, the ball is incomplete, double teamed as he was trying to find Phillip George, but George was double teamed there and really had no chance.
Yeah, George was covered down one-on-one with Ty, and then Esquire came over the free safety and almost picked off that pass. As you said, Carrillo had all the time in the world, but targeted George, as you said, to the far sideline.
Well, I'm wrong again as they're bringing in the punting unit with 4:11 here, but this is the risky move because if El Cajon Valley even picks up 1 first down, you're pretty much done.
He's reading the game, Coach Oliver. He's seen that this offense hasn't done anything. And so he's challenged him to make a first down.
He has 99 career wins. He knows what he's doing. I mean, there's no question about it. But it's risky because if you give up a first down, then you're pretty much done.
He's just thinking that they're not doing anything offensively, and he'll take his chances. His defense has played outstanding.
Moon's just going to let that one bounce, and it will come to a stop at the 24-yard line, and that is where the Braves will take over with 4:01 remaining. So the Patriots will need to come up with a 3-and-out here, or things will be awfully tough.
And on that punt play, I just noticed, Andrew, Coach Whitehead had his entire offensive team off to the side, and he gave them explicit directions himself as they run onto the field. And here comes Harris, the quarterback, with the play. But I think he's saying what you're saying is he's challenging you to get a couple of first downs. Now it's your job to do it, and without the penalties.
And without false starts. And that has been really the issue here in the second half. But the Christian defense has just been superb here in the second half, so you've got to give them a ton of credit. But they're going to have to come up big one more time if they want to win this ball game. Ball is handed off to White in the backfield, and he is hit for a loss of 2. So the Patriot defense again comes up big. And it brings up 2nd and 12. The clock rolling, 3:49.
Parrish Miller coming up makes a stop. He did it offensively with the end around, and right there makes a good tackle for a 2-yard loss.
3:35 remaining. I believe the Patriots have all their timeouts remaining.
I think they're going to do it after this. If they get another key stop here, I think they call a timeout here.
2nd and 12. And false start penalties. And this has been a problem that Elkhorn Valley needs to work out because this has been literally a persistent penalty almost every play here in the second half.
False start on El Cajon. 5-yard penalty.
And like you said, El Cajon Valley has a 5-point lead here with 3:13, but you just get the feeling that Christian is controlling this game.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just think like, okay, well, you stop them here, and then this will be 4-down territory for El Cajon Valley, and then you have to look at the scoreboard and say, wait a minute, El Cajon Valley has a 5-point lead.
They're going to put that one away.
They don't need 4 downs. They should just run the clock out.
Well, 2nd and 17. We're under 3 to go. 2:55 left. As the fans here are starting to get a little restless with that penalty as well, so they get it off without, and they're going to look to run a rollout here from Harris. A flag comes flying in. And the ball will be incomplete, but you got to figure this is a holding penalty against El Cajon Valley as it was called in the backfield.
Yeah, he got flushed out of the pocket there by Leslie, and you got to believe it's a hold on him.
It is a hold, but I think if you're Christian, you have to decline this because if you accept it, you're going to push him back further, but yet you give him more time, another down to run the clock.
I agree with you.
If you decline it, then you bring it down to 3rd, and you really only have to stop him one more time on 3rd and 17.
If you decline it here, oh, that's right.
It'll be 3rd down and 17, but if they accept it, it's going to be 2nd and long, half the distance to the goal. Yeah, it is declined, and that's a smart call there by Christian because now they only have one play to run some clock, and then you call a timeout and you get the ball back with great field position, assuming you come up with a stop.
And he rolled the dice. He didn't use any of his timeouts. On this next play, if I'm El Cajon Valley, I have to run the football and force him to use one.
But at the same time, if you're Christian, you run into the problem that your offense really has been struggling here other than that one big play. So a lot going on
here
in the final.
Here.
They get a play off, and they are going to run it on 3rd and 17. Just White breaks through a tackle. Oh, almost broke free as he picks up close to 10 yards on the play. It's going to bring up 4th and 7. But now Christian will call a timeout, I believe.
Yeah, White right there. I wonder if he had to do it again. I wonder if he would have kept staying outside because it looked like he could have beat that defender to the outside. And if he gets by that last defender, I think he has a first down.
Yeah, Christian does call a timeout. At the very least for El Cajon Valley, he does pick up 10 yards, so that gives you 10 more yards to work with on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
But Christian does their job. They gambled and punted there, and it turns out to be the right move, and now they're going to get the ball back with good field position.
Yeah, they need another. The punting game for the Braves has been exceptional tonight, and they need another good punt They need a fair catch and to start. They don't need any positive yardage going towards their side of the field. You want to keep them as far away from your end zone as you possibly can and make them use those timeouts.
So back deep is Trevor Howell. He is going to back to return this one, and he's going to stand at near his own 40-yard line. And Christian going to come in here for a block. They're lining up for a block. High snap. Kick is up, and it gets it off. Howell is going to call a fair catch at the 33-yard line. And so the Patriots are going to have a long field they go. With 2 timeouts, they have 2:25 remaining.
Esteban Lopez is the punter, and that was his best one of the night because he got extra distance on that one. That moved Howell back about 7 yards so he can make the fair catch.
2:25 left in the fourth. Christian has it trailing by 5, 17-12. They have it at their own 33. They need to score a touchdown to take the lead here. They haven't led in this ball game. And if they score here, they'll have the lead and will be in pretty decent shape with only 2:25 left. Carrillo looking to throw. He is under pressure, and he is going to go down. He is sacked. It's a coverage sack, and Carrillo loses about a yard on the play, but more importantly than that, the clock is rolling. And they're going to have to hurry here.
Ayar Nassim with the sack there, number 56 for the Braves. Boy, he came with an inside pressure and really got on the quarterback in a hurry.
1:54 left. Carrillo gets the play off. He rolls out to the far side, has time, and he is hit hard. The flags come flying out right when he was hit.
That can't be on the hit.
Well, two officials threw it, and
face mask.
It is going to be a face mask penalty, and so the defense comes up with a huge stop, but the face mask penalty is going to give them a first down.
Yeah, stupid penalty. Again, lack of discipline by El Cajon Valley.
It would have been 3rd and forever. Instead, you give Christian a first down. Eventually, Christian's going to capitalize on one of these mistakes.
Yeah, big play offense. They're gonna pretty soon they're gonna open up the arsenal here. They're not gonna run the football, and they're gonna throw it deep and challenge your DBs. Boy, the Braves are like a staggered champion that's hanging on at the end of a fight.
It's not going to be an automatic first down, but it'll be 2nd down and 4. So instead of 3rd and forever, it's 2nd and 4 after the penalty. So Carrillo sets up the screen, gets it over to Owens, and Owens looks like he's close to the first down marker, but he stayed in bounds. He does, I believe, pick up the first, but he was right next to the sideline there.
Hector Maldonado there, the outside linebacker for El Cajon Valley, made a nice tackle, kept him in bounds. He tried to get outside. Maldonado had nothing of it.
Clock is going now that the chains are set. 1:25. Draw play to Owens. Owens is hit in the backfield, breaks through that tackle, has some room, and is knocked out of bounds near the first down marker. So not only does he get a good yardage there, he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, nothing was there originally. He jumped outside immediately, and boy, all second effort by Owens as he got outside, toe danced that sidelines right there to pick up added yardage until he's pushed out of bounds.
Picks up 9, 2nd and 1, but again, gets out of bounds to stop the clock. So heads up move there by Owens to scamper out. So Carrillo now will have time without having to rush. 2nd down in a yard, going deep. Fires. Ball is tipped around, incomplete.
Oh, nice play. Great coverage, one-on-one there.
Kai Arvin was the intended receiver on the far side and knocked away. Arvin had a chance at it, but Esquire comes up with the play. He's been all over the place on the defensive side.
Yeah, really does it. Plays that safety position perfectly because he goes out and then helps out his cornerbacks who have the tough one-on-one coverage with these talented receivers.
They try to get him off guard, El Cajon Valley off guard with a quick snap, and they pick up the first. Owens picks up about 6 yards for the first. They're in Brave territory now. 1:04 remaining. The clock has stopped momentarily for them to move the chains. This is coming down to the wire, folks.
And they're getting the time, so Carrillo can throw it deep. He has to hit the receiver, though.
Carrillo looking to throw, fires. Has a man to George. George hits and is brought down near the 20. He is knocked down at the 21.
Great head fake by George. He fake going outside towards the sidelines, then cut sharply inside of the hash mark. And, boy, the Carrillo hit him perfectly, and Ty could not make the adjustment and made a game-saving tackle. It looked like George was going to have good vision to the end zone.
And that timeout was called by El Cajon Valley, so that's their final timeout. They're just trying to get their defense in order here. Christian will still have 2 timeouts remaining with 53.7 seconds. They have plenty of time. Time is not a factor now. Now that you have 2 timeouts and you're at the 21.
Yeah, and that just helps you right now. You're at the they spot the ball at about the 21. The head of the football is at the 21, so that gives you plenty of room, and you have ample space to really run a full offensive plays here.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to really hurry. I mean, you obviously have to kind of be aware of the clock and hurry a little bit, but you don't have to kind of be out of control hurrying.
But give all the credit in the world to the Patriots offensive line. They've given Carrillo playing time now where he can look and kind of look off multiple receivers there to see which one is open. And that time, George made a big-time reception.
Ball is handed off on first down and 10. Owens almost broke free, but he is tripped up after a gain of 8. One man to beat, otherwise he would have been in the end zone. The clock is rolling, but again, not necessarily an issue with your 2 timeouts.
Ryan Pete came up and made the stop. It looked like Owens got past the line of scrimmage. It was going to head in the end zone, and Pete came out of nowhere to make the stop.
32 seconds left. Ball is handed off to Owens. Owens has room, is tripped up inside the 5. Now might be a time you want to call a timeout if you're Christian.
Yeah, Maldonado once again with the stop. Open field tackle here.
Clock has stopped momentarily, but with 26.3 left, the clock will stop until they get the chain set. There it goes. The clock is going. 25 seconds. First and goal from the 5. Hand off to Owens. Owens trying to break free is short. He's brought down at the 2. 15 seconds left, and now they'll call a timeout.
Pete broke away from a block from the outside tackle and cut inside to take down Owens alone. What a play by Ryan Pete. He had to fight off a big-time offensive tackle, spin away from him, and then had the right of mind to make the stop on an open field tackle.
And Owens right now on the timeout, you look at him now, he is just exhausted. He has carried the ball, and his helmet just flew off right there as he's trying to get some air. And he has done everything on this drive, and you got to figure he's getting the ball again here. On third, he's getting positive yards every time he touches it. And right now, that's basically all you need because it's 3rd and goal from the 2. So as long as you get a positive yards, and the way he's turning his feet, and
I think they're going to fake it to Owens and try to get George to the outside pylon here on the near sideline.
And if you're El Cajon Valley, you have to be aware of the play fake right now because Owens has been doing everything, so you figure they're going to start eyeing him. But that's the perfect situation for the play fake. Here we go. Carrillo on 3rd and goal from the 2. He's going to throw over the middle. Wide open touchdown!
Number 5.
Jacob Porras gets in the end zone with 12 seconds remaining, and that is the first lead of the game for the Patriots, and it comes with 12 seconds left in the game.
Great feed, and he dropped one early in the second half. They went to him again, and breakdown in coverage. Esquire wasn't there that time as he was left wide open in the middle of the field.
Wow. What a drive that started at their own 33-yard line.
And you go for 2 here, so you make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, I think right here you have to go for 2, but I don't think, honestly, at this point, even a long return would pretty much eat the clock up. But just to be safe, you go for 2 to make it a 3-point game, especially because El Cajon Valley does have a kicker that's capable of making a 50-plus yarder. So Carrillo will look to throw for the 2-point conversion. Fires, has a man wide open and gets in. That was George wide open. So 20-17 is the score with Christian on top. And if you're El Cajon Valley, you're just in shock right now because you led this entire game until now.
Yeah, and George gets in motion right there. breakdown in coverage once again. The cornerback didn't come over as he came in motion. He was wide open in the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
So now, if you're Oklahoma Valley, you get Moon out there, your fastest guy, and try to get him the ball. And if you're Christian, you just squib the ball. You keep it far away from Vernell Moon as possible. Now we got to start thinking of our player of the game here. Jacob Porras making that catch.
It has to be him. He made a big-time catch. You got to make the play.
And it's one of those catches, too, where you're so wide open that it's almost one of those tougher catches when you're that open because everybody's watching you.
Boy, there's so many players that
you got to give the
looking. Carrillo,
but I think he's earned our player of the game honors before, and I would give him the vote for leading the team down. But I think you got to give Forrest for getting that score, or Paris Miller on that big run in the third quarter as well.
Yeah, that seemed to really kickstart this team in the right direction. So many players, man. George, as you said, Paris Miller, man. Big time victory here for Christian as they came in a hostile environment, and boy, they did not
they
start
persevered.
out. Yeah, they didn't start out great, but boy, they finished strong.
So here comes the kickoff, and it's just going to be a little squib, fielded by an up man.
He had to sit down. Boy, he wasted
about a second and a half. But
yeah.
Really, and here's another factor. If you had a timeout, you would still have a chance. They have no timeouts left. But you have a kicker that's capable of making a 50-plus yarder. So right now they need to get about 15 yards to get a realistic shot at it, which you would have time if you have a timeout. But right now you really have to get out of bounds. That's really the only chance you have.
What they have to do here is get a first down and then run up
spike
to the line
it really quick,
and spike it.
But that's going to even that will take a couple seconds. So this is going to be tough without a timeout, and that's what happens when you burn timeouts early in the quick quarter. When they burn 2 in the third quarter.
Yeah, they should have never taken that second one, but I think he had to, unfortunately.
Well, they need to get about 15 yards to get a realistic shot at it. Harris needs to hurry and throw it. Fires it over the middle. Has a man. And knocked down at the 32. The clock is stopped at 4.2. They need to hurry up and spike it.
And they're set up. Great play, great route by Darby. Great throw by Harris. He really targeted it.
And if they spike this, it's going to be about a 50-yarder.
Hold on to that player of the game, folks.
Hold on a minute. Harris needs to hurry. Clock is running. He's not going to get it off. He didn't get it off.
What was he doing?
And that is going to do it. The referee is saying that is the end. The referee is.
Oh, my God.
And that will do it. They would have had a chance at a 50-yarder, and you have the best kicker in the county. That would have given a chance to tie it, but that will do it as Christian is going to escape with a 20-17 victory.
How could your quarterback not know that? He has to spike the ball. Why did you think you were running downfield? Set up for another play?
And it's just
unbelievable.
That's tough. And you can see the coaches went out there were literally screaming at Harrison. You got to feel bad because he made a big play to get it there, but you got to know.
Wow.
So a tough loss for El Cajon Valley, but they will lose this one 20-17 as Christian walks away with the victory. And what a ball game. 3-0. The Patriots are undefeated, and they give their head coach their 100th career victory. And what a way to give them that 100th victory. What a ball game.
Wow. I mean, your 100th victory, he'll never forget this one because
no,
it looked like it was going to stay at 99, and somehow, some way, they eked it out. Nice game.
So we'll step aside here. We're going to decide on our player of the game. We'll come back with that interview with that player. 20-17, the final. Christian wins it in the final seconds here at El Cajon Valley High.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.